knowing, and it's in getting that intuition and moving on it. That our power is in what we feel, not necessarily emotion, but what we feel in our body. But so many of us are out of touch with our body. We'll give our body to somebody else before we really get in touch with it ourselves, because we're so busy doing till we don't know how to be. Ooh. When I talk about feminine energy, again, I'm talking about the grace, the compassion, the humanity. I'm talking about mercy. I'm talking about silence, stillness. I'm talking about flow and movement. I'm talking about speaking from a place of intuitive knowing, love. I'm not, and that's not the masculine way. The masculine way is justice, structure, power, is control. That's masculine. Feminine is dominion. Not.
Okay, listen. Y'all have heard me say it. And this is, I love this interview because when we come from a place of lack and fear, we hold on to control. And when I decided I wanted to retire, even though my heart really thought I was ready and wanted to, my mind was like, can you really let go of control? Because no one had taken care of me my entire adult life but me and God, of course. So I remember when I was decided to retire and I talked to my husband about it, and he said, well, yeah, you can do it. Just tell me what I need to do to make sure we can maintain things running in this house. So I was telling him, but instead of just telling him and letting it go, I said, well, baby, I got this coming in and I got this coming in and I can do this. And he said to me, he said, you just can't let go, can you? And I had to stop and because again, I've never either been able to or I never allowed myself to, because when the truth of the matter is, I didn't trust my intuition. I didn't trust my judgment. Yet I was with these people or these men that I really didn't trust enough to let go. So that says more about me than them. It says more about us than them. Because if we really feel that we can't let go of control and know and believe that they have us, whether they're white collar or blue collar, why are we with them?
Control. But most of us, many of us, I'm in recovery, are control freaks. So it's a whole nother way, a whole nother vibe. She raises her hand. There's a whole nother vibe that we can tap into, that we have to tap into, because the world is dying. This society, this system is coming down. And if we don't step into our power as women, we're going down with it. With the fall of the materialism and the collapse of the systems and the structures. We gotta, how many women do you know with degrees could live outside and survive for 3 days on the earth? How many do you know?
Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Okay? Because let's just look at the homeless population that's growing. Ooh wee. Shout out to my military veterans. You better know how to do a recon. You better know how to survey, pitch a tent, find some rations, land navigate, shoot a weapon.
I know I can. I know what to eat. I know where to find water. I'm not saying we got to go back to the rustic times of the Wild Wild West, but I'm saying being in contact and in touch with the earth in a way that empowers us. Yeah. Take the pants off. Take the pants off. Let your hoo-ha get some air.
A new definition to breathe again, huh, Iyanla? Listen, it's funny you say that. I only can survive the wilderness, and I know for sure, and I actually was able to do it for about 12 days because I was on a CBS reality show called Beyond the Edge that challenged me, though. It challenged me to do those things in a way I'd never done before. Before you leave us, I need to ask you about how what you're saying for women to sit in there knowing, be quiet for a minute, shut up, and tune into our bodies, tune into our innate knowing, as I hear you say, but how that works alongside feminism. Because you've said you're not knocking feminism. You're not saying women cannot be police officers, firefighters, play football, or anything else. But you are saying that this hustle culture has given women a need to feel like we must be in competition with men. Is that
feminism for me? Feminism for me is a political or a social construct. And a woman, empowerment as a woman is an internal experience that becomes an external expression. I can be solid in myself as a woman. I may not want to play football or carry a gun on my hip. I may not. But the distinction is I'm not looking to anything outside of myself for my power. Not. And I know that everything is coming to me to stretch, strengthen, grow me into my authentic and original being.
Grow me. Listen. And this is what we're talking about, because education, position, money, materialism, all those things will fade away. All those things will fade away. It is so funny. And when we think about it, particularly when COVID hit, all of us have these fabulous clothes, okay? COVID hit, nowhere to wear them. I've given away so much of my stuff because why? We stopped going into the office. Before I retired, we stopped going into the office, and I wasn't going to wear my heels around my house. Wasn't going to wear my suits around my house. So guess what? It became useless for me. But what I can snuggle up to is my baby. Who I can hug is my daughter, my granddaughter, my grandchildren. Who I can be there for are my mom, my dad, my aunt. And I can rest, I can be. I can turn this off. I can truly relax. I can let go.
And inside, I'm not guarded. I'm not harsh. I'm not brutal. I'm not violent. I'm not violent in my speaking. Women speaking today is so violent toward themselves and toward one another.
I just said it. Just in the response to this interview itself, the vile things, the disrespectful things that our women, have said about this elder who has been growed, and by her own admission, in recovery of being a control freak. She telling you, not, like I said, not what she's read about, but what she's lived, and this is what she gets. And again, I'm going to say, for all her accomplishments and failures and rebounds, for all mine accomplishments, failures, and rebounds, we know what our lives were like at y'all's age. Y'all don't know what your life is going to be at ours. Unless you do something different, you take a self-assessment, take some inventory of your woman and your glory. That's a song, by the way.
So I'm not talking about a political construct, the women's movement.
Right.
I'm talking about the move of women for themselves, within themselves, so that they can be themselves in a completely different way.
I love this interview. I'm grateful to both of these young women. Well, I'll call her young woman, but my elder, she's older than me. I think she's closer to my mom's age. But also to Ebony K for being vulnerable. And some of the things that she may be able to take with her, and some things she won't. But she listened. Again, you say, well, that's her job. You know, she's doing an interview. But I'm sure she took some things away from that. And I still did. And I'm on the other side. You know, I've learned being with my husband that it takes to survive out on the road. I knew some things. I knew some basic stuff. How to get food, water, how to, you know, purify water, all those kinds of things. But I'm learning more. Because, see, we make the mistake of thinking that because we have all this money, all this stuff, that when push come to shove, if the bombs start dropping over here, that we can buy whatever we want to get done. They're going to be trying to take care of themselves too, wherever they are. And again, if nothing else that COVID showed us, when it came time to go out and look for toilet paper, food, I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to, you know, bump elbows because it was crazy. That's what they're talking about. But again, for those of you who only gleaned that she was saying you got to marry down, you missed the whole freaking point. You missed the whole point. No one is saying roll over and just take anything or anyone. No. She didn't say that. But that's what some of y'all took from it. I'm not better than my grandfather, who, yes, worked hard in construction, you know, in woodworks. And I got me a good working, hard working, God loving, God abiding man who loves me, protects me, provides for me, and has shown me things in his selflessness and how protective of me he is. I've never had it. Never. And showing, you know, learning again, like Iyanla says, to be quiet. I still have stuff to say, but sometimes it's not necessary to say it. Or if I say it, I might say it without speaking it. That's something I had to learn, and then it gets me what I want or what I need. You know, as I close this thing out, I'm going to end it, you know, with words spoken by Billy D. Williams in Mahogany. Until next time, ciao for now.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.